The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ. And it looks like we've been kicked out of the studio.
It's Wednesday in the Riv, and we're not in the studio, in case you can't tell. So, another day.
Yep. Hey, I got a little bit of information that I want to share right away.
Uh-oh.
The Baker-Polito administration awards $4.56 million in municipal grants funding to support local police safety and emergency response services. And guess how much Fall River got?
$1.80.
$1.268 million. To be exact, it's $1,268,735.67.
I think we should have got $4 million because we're number one.
That's right,
number one in crime, so we should get it all.
Exactly.
Right?
So what was interesting was the police department received $509,300, and the fire department received $739,435.67. Why 67 cents? I don't know, but
well, they got 200,000 more, so that's you'd assume. Well, then again, you know what happens when you assume, but you would assume that they'd split the thing evenly, at least.
Yeah, you'd think.
And you'd think because, and if you were going to give somebody a little bit more, you'd say, well, in the city it's number one in crime, in dangerous crime. Maybe the others, maybe the 67 cents should have went to the police department, that extra 67 cents. But hey, look, it's not, look, they love throwing money down.
But here's the problem.
What they do with the money. It's what they do with that money.
Well, here's the problem with this money. Guess what it is? Municipal public safety staffing grants.
Okay.
So you know what that means?
Yes. Well, I know what federal safer grants. They have a whole bunch of little caveats attached to them that they're. And the other thing is, again, one-time money.
Right.
Whenever you get staffing, and it's mandated that it has to be used for staffing, and you have these mandates. There's a problem. There's a structural problem with that. And
right.
the federal safer grant funded positions, and then that funding got to be less and less until it finally disappeared. But it was structured that way in order to allow the departments that got safer grants to figure out a way to keep those things in the budget by using their own money. And which fundamentally never ever happens, because you know what every city and town, especially places like Fall River, it's not a problem in Newton where they got plenty of money, but places like Fall River and Lowell and Lawrence and this is the problem. They never stop spending money,
right,
and not in the right places. That's
exactly.
the problem.
Exactly.
So it's good that we're going to get some money. But it's bad that if you put positions on, what's going to happen later when those positions are not funded by this grant?
That's the whole point. Yeah, that's why I said, you know what this money means.
Yeah, another problem, another can to kick down the road.
Exactly.
Because everybody will be crowing about all the new positions, and nobody's going to think about, well, guess what? We're paying with these positions with a state lottery ticket. For now. But when we spend all the money that we got on that lottery ticket, you have to pay for those positions.
Yeah.
And assume.
Sooner or later, you got to pay the fiddler.
That's right. If you want to dance, you got to play the band.
That's
right?
it.
Ultimately.
And we've been down this road numerous times. We've seen it over and over again. So it makes for an interesting time. I just got a visit from somebody who wants to get on TV.
Uh-oh. Bentley?
Yeah. His tail's going nuts, so I don't want to let him get on TV because I don't want Abby to go nuts.
Well, Abby's out there taking. I gave her anti-inflammatory knockout drop there because she's still on those things until I get her up to the specialist to check on that torn ligament. So she's lower dosage now, but they're trying to keep her quiet. So
yeah,
but that's a difficult thing with dogs. So
I still haven't heard anything about the suicide or the alleged suicide. I haven't heard anything about the victim. I don't know the name, if they've notified the family. So I've had people asking that question. So I wanted to get that out there today.
Yeah, maybe the police haven't identified him. And that's the problem. As you said, it's odd that we really didn't hear virtually anything about it. But then again, sometimes when it comes to information, especially with certain administrations, it's very difficult to get any information about anything out into the light of day. But
hey, and we've talked about this before. This administration wants to be transparent, wants to follow the law, wants to do what they have to do, but it's only when it suits them.
Except when it doesn't suit them.
That's
like
right.
the residency ordinance.
Right.
Like the hell with the residency. We won't even ask. It's don't ask, don't tell. Remember that old thing they applied to the military? Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
So this is what we have. Don't mention the ordinance. Don't mention the charter when it's not in our favor. But when it suits our agenda, well, we have to pontificate about how we have to abide by our charter, except when it's inconvenient. And we have to abide by our ordinances.
Especially when to shove the ordinance down a city council throat with no input.
Right. Exactly. Oh yeah, wait a minute, it automatically goes in.
That's right.
And that's the thing. But we get back to the old thing what we keep saying now. We've got we're almost, we're looking at the November election, on a national election that could have far-reaching ramifications, but we see what's happening in the country. The country's falling apart. Nobody cares about the average person. Gas prices, everything else. We know what Bloomberg said. We know, eat lentils, take the bus, and let your dog die. Because I don't care. I'm rich. I don't have to do any of those things, but you're poor and nobody gives a damn about you. He articulated that very, very nicely, as they did 200 years ago in The Untold Story of Labor, which is, I'm looking at the copy right on top of my desk here. But that's the problem. Nobody cares. And I hear people complain about that all the time. But this is the key. We will have a city council and school committee election. When I hear people being outraged by the fact that what happened with Malone, what's happening with other issues, and we've got a couple of outstanding school issues. You notice that we haven't heard anything at all about that assault, the recent assault.
Right.
Not a word. That's it hasn't escaped my memory bank yet that we haven't heard a word. And I was assured that something was going to be done. They were going to put together some type of, mechanism to handle this stuff and maybe do, come together with some type of committee that has representatives from the parents and school to deal with this and draft a methodology for handling this thing, standard operating procedure, for handling these kind of complaints. But again, out of sight, out of mind. That's their philosophy. You remember those infamous words. Keep your mouth shut, your head down. In a couple of weeks, they'll be on to something else.
Right. Right. I was just looking for the video of the girl getting slapped at Morton. I can't seem to find it right now, which is a shame because I would have shared it.
Yeah, I got it somewhere too, but I don't think But it was heinous, as I said that day when we did air the video. Whoever it was, and it was a pretty quick video, but it was hard to differentiate if it was a male or a female that actually struck the girl. But I know one thing, they were a lot bigger than the individual that was struck. And then they ran away like the cowards that they are. He ran away like a he or she or ran away like the cowards that they are. But see, that's a problem that assault happened.
Yes, it is.
But the bigger problem to me is we never seem to see anything done to say, okay, this happened. We're going to address this particular thing, but we're going to set up a procedure where these things are going to be handled in this manner every single time they happen, because we have to have zero tolerance for bullying and physical assaults in our schools. But then again, what the hell? The Academy Awards, you can go up and biatch slap somebody, and then you get away with it. You get away with it. So because you're a movie star and you're rich. Again, I'll tell you what, if that was you or me, and I slapped somebody upside the head and they had me on camera, I would have been in jail for the weekend, and I would have been getting arraigned on Monday. Because there's no way, there was no way there's no way the average person is getting away with that. But when you're a rich movie star, and the thing, he's had a history of that. They showed some video of him in 2012 slapping some reporter, a little, like, good thing he hits like a girl because look, he's not a small guy. He's 6'4", couple of 100 pounds. He's a big guy. And he smacked him upside the head and didn't even knock him sideways a couple of feet. I mean, he played Muhammad Ali, but he sure as hell don't punch like Muhammad Ali. Yeah. Because he should be embarrassed with himself. If you go up there to defend your wife and you hit somebody and you got that much size and weight on him, and you do so little damage that backstage he said, well, I got hit by Muhammad Ali and I didn't even feel it. So, if you're going to do it, you should have the philosophy. If you're going to get charged with assault and battery, make it worthwhile.
Well, I saw a funny meme, and it was of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from World Wrestling Federation. Mm-hmm. And, he's built huge. Oh, yes. And he turned around and he says, hey, Jader, I can't wait to see you as G.I. Jane 2. And Will Smith, and then there was a picture of Will Smith laughing, going, ah. Yeah, all of a sudden it was funny. You know what I mean? He's not going to smack Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson upside the head.
Yeah, well, I can guarantee you if that was The Rock, he wouldn't. But the irony of that, if you look at that video, and they've showed it ad nauseum, I mean, every single show on television. I mean, it's ridiculous. But do you notice that at the beginning he laughed at that joke?
Yes, I did.
He was laughing hysterically. Yep. Then all of a sudden, now he goes up there, and there's all kinds of other things in this story, but it's a Hollywood nauseating plot. And there were even some people saying it might have been a setup. Who knows? I don't. But these Hollywood types, like you said, it was a room full of rich millionaires, woke rich. And isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic that the wokies who want to put you in jail if you use the wrong pronoun, if you call them the wrong, because you know what the wokies say, words hurt. It's not sticks and stones won't break my bone. You know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's gone now. The wokies are so delicate, the little snowflakes, that they say words are devastating. They can hurt. They hurt. But some guy goes up there and physically assaults another person, and you got the wokies, that Nicki Minaj or whatever the hell her name is. That wacko said, "Isn't it nice to see a real man go up there and defend his woman?" Isn't that toxic masculinity? See, if somebody else did that, except a rich movie star, he'd be in jail. They'd be crucifying him for being toxically male. I thought we're not even supposed to be male anymore. We're supposed to be like metrosexual or something. I mean, they got so they're such hypocrites. They can't even keep their own agenda straight. But what we have determined is very simple, that they have a double standard. Rich people, as we say, movie stars, have a different criteria. If you did that, or any normal person did that any place, you'd be walking out of there with handcuffs. It wouldn't be a question of whether you were going to stick around for your nomination and see if you got the award, which he did. You'd be in handcuffs. You'd be down a police station waiting for the magistrate to come down to set bail on you for assault and battery.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't preach to me about your wokeism. You guys are all full of crap, because the rules only apply to the poor people, to us. The rules you make, and you're going to tell me what pronoun to use, but you can do anything you want. And then you just spin it. Oh, well, you know, he was a real man defending his wife. And believe me, how about the fact that you guys are always preaching that even words hurt? You should be arrested for using a wrong word, but it's okay for somebody to go up there and that is battery. You know that. It's
or worse, the wrong pronoun.
The wrong pronoun. Yeah, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid you use the wrong pronoun, because that's actually a capital offense. I think that's a felony. Wrong pronoun's a felony. The other one might be a misdemeanor, but that was a felony. So
exactly. Hey, it was brought to my attention that on Monday's show, I made a mistake and identified Rebecca Collins as the project manager for Diamond. We have Diamond on the brain around here. She was the project manager for the new Durfee building. And then she gets put on the sewer commission, which she has no background in. So, again, this is how the mayor pays back his friends, his supporters, and people that he likes.
Are you sure she doesn't have a background? Because if she was involved in Durfee, isn't that already a sewer?
Basically, yeah.
None of the bathrooms work.
Yeah.
There's graffiti all over, so she may be an expert in sewers.
Yeah. Well, what's really interesting is that while we're talking about Durfee now they've hired somebody else. Imagine that. The school department hired somebody else. They hired a strength coach.
What?
A strength coach.
Strength.
Yes.
As in physical strength?
Yes. And he helps.
And what is the strength coach going to do?
He helps athletes get fitter, and he saves lives too. I'm watching the video here of the weight room and gym center that Durfee created for its students, which I think is rather interesting. Let me see if I can get this on the screen. I'm not sure.
Oh God.
Okay. It should come up. Where are we?
Well,
I'm not used to the screen share stuff.
Yeah. Well, look, look, we got deans as students.
There it is. There it is. Here's the video of these what they've got there. So it's very, very interesting.
Oh God. All right, enough. I'm already nauseated. Leave it.
Yeah, I know. I could tell.
But look, we got deans of students now in the middle schools. We created another job for somebody. Strength. It should be strength and conditioning coach because that's what they have normally in athletics. And you remember a long time ago, we had I forgot his name, but he was a certified trainer. He's an EMT, a paramedic or something. And he used to go to all the Durfee games for athletic injuries. I don't know if that thing's still around, like the guy looking for but strength and conditioning. They've had strength and these coaches are supposed, football, they've been lifting weights for years. It's just another job to add, strength and conditioning coach. You normally don't see that stuff at the, with the coaches are normally competent enough to do that. Now we're going to get, because we got so much money to blow, because look, everybody's rich in Fall River. We can have, actually Peter Corey, a guy from this city, it was the strength and conditioning coach for Deontay Wilder, the heavyweight champion of the world. He got him in shape for his first, when he first won the title. Then he was let go because then actually he wanted to get paid for serving. Great. Peter was a great athlete, great strength and conditioning coach, still does it. He's a strength and conditioning coach down at baseball coach down in Tuscaloosa, University of Alabama. And he's also strength and conditioning coach at a junior college down there. Comes up here in the summer. I see him all the time.
Well, we'll have to let Patrick know that, because Patrick's down in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I didn't actually mention that to Patrick. I said, he's down there. But he'll be up now. Summer's coming. Peter normally comes back up then I see him once in a while at the gym. And then he goes down to Cape and he does his physical fitness, personal trainer stuff. But look, another job. We've had, weightlifting is part of football and wrestling forever. The necessity for that, I don't really see it. But then again, what does the school department do? They have unlimited money. Inflation never bothers them. Nothing bothers them.
No, because they got money. All of a sudden,
everything you see at the college level will now trickle down, and they use it to create jobs here. Deans of students. Right. A dean of students. What? You got a PhD. So that means you not only went to the undergrad, you went to graduate and then, super graduate level with your PhD. Did you ever see a dean of students before you got to college?
No.
Okay. Neither did I. And I went to Durfee. There were no deans of anything then.
And as a matter of fact, I never met the dean of students at any of the colleges I was at. That's right.
Yeah, nor did I. But the fact is that's a position that really is not, it's not really required at this level. And, as I said, we always get away. We listen to the rhetoric. It might save an injury, save this, save that. Yeah, well, how about doing something? We have had an underperforming school system for a very long time. Our academic achievements are not there. How about using that money to educate our students? How about getting an intellectual development coach rather than a strength coach? How about making sure that we put this money into programs that will help engage students and make them perform better? Not do what they do in Baltimore, where they have all these fancy jobs, including the academic education czar or whatever they called her, who says, we don't care if they're reading at a kindergarten level or a first grade level. We're just going to graduate them anyway, because it would be punitive not to graduate them. Well, it's punitive to put somebody in society who can't read and write and say they got a high school diploma, because they'll never work unless it's drug dealer or pimp. So the fact is that the education system in the United States is totally gone. Education reform destroyed it. There's no emphasis on education. Our educational system, that's why people are talking about eliminating public education. They want to reimburse people who send their kids to private school and charter schools, because the reality is the educational system is not working. Look at the educational attainment levels throughout this country. They're pathetic. And I'm not blaming the teachers. Let me make that clear. I'm blaming the bureaucrats. I'm blaming the politicians who create jobs like this, and deans of students jobs, and all kinds of other jobs that have nothing to do with educating the students, which is their sole and primary function as far as I'm concerned.
I hear you. I hear you. You know, and remember, every time they talk about a new charter school coming up, like they did about the New Bedford charter school, the Innovators charter school, the Innovators Collegiate charter school, whatever it was, they fight it. The public schools fight it tooth and nail. That will be devastating to the public school system. The school system destroys itself.
Yeah.
They've worked on destroying itself.
Yeah, you never see them come out against the dean of students.
That's right.
You never see them come out against all those bureaucratic jobs that they've created, which take money away from classroom investment.
Right.
That's the problem.
I remember sending Nicole to Seton Academy, which is the old Dominican Academy. Remember Dominican Academy?
Yep.
Because the Fall River public school system wouldn't allow her into school until she was 6 years old. And she was going to be 5 in October. But Seton Academy let them in as long as they were 5 by December 31st. When she left Seton Academy after kindergarten, she was reading at a 3rd grade level. 3rd grade. When she went to the Fall River Public School for 1 year, she could barely read at a 1st grade level. 1 year. 1 year at Seton Academy, 3rd grade level. 1 year in the Fall River school system, barely a 1st grade level. What does that tell you about our Fall River school system? This is why people want school choice. They want to be able to send their kids to wherever they want. And for the money that they give the school system for each student, which I believe is something like $10,000 to $12,000 a year, a parent can put a child in a very good private school for $10,000 to $12,000 a year.
Yeah,
you and I both know it.
But that's not even that's not even enough to foster the pay raises they gave into these bureaucratic jobs that they got.
I know.
Didn't somebody get a $16,000 pay raise over there last year or something like that? A few of them did. And now they're talking about $19,000 pay raises in other places. And I mean, you can educate your child and actually get them an education. And that's the problem. The problem is that, look, I understand it's difficult for these unions to come out against these things, but they're going to destroy themselves if they don't. They got to start putting their foot down and say, we want the investment to be in classroom education, not in bureaucratic jobs. And that's the reality.
Well, we have allowed the politicians to destroy our public education system by our votes. That's why I say we have allowed it. Because when you don't come out and vote, you get the government you deserve. And when you come out and don't vote, okay, and you choose not to vote, you have no place to complain. If your taxes go through the roof, it's your fault. You didn't vote. I vote, I can complain. You vote, Chip, you can complain. People who don't vote can't complain. They don't have an opportunity.
And just like we talk about the city council and say if they do not factor the taxpayer as their primary responsibility, school committee, if it's not the educational attainment level, you're not doing your job.
Exactly. Well, time flies when you're having fun. I want to thank you all for watching. We should be back in our studio on April Fool's Day, and we'll crack a joke then. I want to thank you all for watching, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.